Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, we're learning more details about the arrest and the indictment of Sean Combs, P. Diddy. He, of course, started out as a musical artist. He became an actor, a mogul. He had multiple businesses or has multiple businesses, been very successful. And now he's accused of heinous, sick crimes against women that span decades. And he's been charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, a bunch of other crimes. And you might recall several months back, there was 2016 security camera footage that was released. This was at a hotel, and there was this incident where Combs was seen physically attacking his then girlfriend, singer Cassie Ventura. So in the video, she was trying to flee. She was standing in front of the hotel elevator. Combs walked up, grabbed her from behind and threw her to the ground. And then he repeatedly kicked her. And then he tried to drag her down a hallway. And then he picked up something from a hotel table and he threw it at her. Guy's a psycho. And we're now finding out that a hotel security officer tried to intervene, and this guy was going to call the police, and then Combs paid him off. And it just sounds like this is the tip of the iceberg. Basically, it sounds like he is Jeffrey Epstein almost. I mean, it just sounds horrific. It sounds like he had just a whole bunch of people around him completely covering for this vile behavior for a long time. So the indictment details events that Combs would host. Usually they would take place at a hotel, and he would allegedly pay and fly in sex workers across state lines, which is a major crime, and he would have them perform what they called highly choreographed acts with women who Combs was controlling. So with drugs, with threats, with physical abuse. He called these performances freak-offs, and they would sometimes last for days on end, according to the prosecutor. And the indictment says that Combs would get these women high, to make them more compliant. He would also threaten them. He would threaten to withhold funds. He would threaten to destroy their careers. They say that Combs often recorded these freak-offs, and then he would use this embarrassing footage as extortion. He would use it to keep them quiet, to keep them further compliant with his sick demands. Some of these women also report fearing him physically, that he had physically abused them, and so they were afraid if they didn't do what he wanted, he would beat them up. Combs is also said to have given everyone IV fluids after these events to help them recover more quickly from the drugs and the physical exertion. And he remains behind bars because the judge is worried about his history of witness tampering. So Combs is accused of threatening and also paying off victims and witnesses who've come forward in the past. The prosecutor says that they even have him recorded in a call. He was speaking with one of these other alleged victims, totally gaslighting her, telling her, oh, no, this was all consensual. You wanted this, blah, blah, blah. And then he was hinting that, if you keep quiet, if you stay on my side, then I'll take care of you financially. He put it in very covert terms. And then in another instance, prosecutors say that Combs called and texted another alleged victim 58 times after he was named in a related lawsuit. And according to sources who spoke with the New York Post, Combs has his very own Ghislaine Maxwell. It's a Ghislaine Maxwell type of assistant. This was a woman who was his chief of staff. Her name is Kristina Khorram. And Maxwell, as you guys all know, she was the primary recruiter for the prolific child predator Jeffrey Epstein. She is currently sitting in prison right now for helping him abuse hundreds of young girls. And fun fact, off topic a little bit, but related, Maxwell, her most recent appeal to overturn her conviction, it was slapped down by a court. So she's going to stay in jail. But I digress. So according to these sources, Kristina Khorram, quote, would know everything and was his, quote, manipulator in chief. So the sources told the New York Post that Khorram allegedly helped Combs recruit these sex workers, some of whom they say were underage. And then Khorram has been named and accused in other lawsuits against Combs. So in one complaint that was filed by a music producer named Rodney Jones, it says Khorram, quote, knowingly and intentionally participated in, perpetrated, assisted, supported, facilitated a sex trafficking venture, and that she was, quote, instrumental in organizing and executing the trafficking enterprise. And Jones' attorney described her as the, quote, Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs' Jeffrey Epstein. Khorram hasn't been charged with any crimes, but Combs, in the Combs indictment, I should say, it mentions that staff members helped him to commit these possible crimes. So, of course, he denies all of these allegations against him, and his attorney is using Trump's playbook. They're calling this a witch hunt. And then Combs also vehemently denied physically abusing Cassie. So, he came clean after video evidence came to light, after that video at the hotel. But before that, oh, no, I'm totally innocent. I didn't do any of this, blah, 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 blah. So not exactly a trustworthy person, not someone with a great track record of telling the truth. And here's the thing. Here's why I wanted to cover this story. This is not my typical coverage, but as you guys know, I followed the Jeffrey Epstein case for many years. I don't care about celebrities most of the time, but I do care about justice. I do care that women have been victimized by sick bastards like this for decades, for all time, really. I mean, you could go back to the beginning of time, and men have been victimizing women. And I'm not saying that to paint all men with a bad brush. This is, specific men, specific scumbags. Most men are good people. They would not do anything near this to a woman. But yeah, they get away with it because just like Jeffrey Epstein, they surround themselves with enablers. They surround themselves with people who, for whatever reason, because they want to be close to the fame, because they like the money, because they like the prestige, whatever the case may be, they're too weak. They're just too pathetic to stand up to these guys, or maybe they fear these people themselves, but they go along with it. And they're just as bad. They are just as bad. So hopefully he will spend the rest of his miserable life in prison. If he's proven guilty, we have to, of course, under the laws in the United States, we have to give him the benefit of the doubt, and it has to go to court, has to go to trial. But yeah, if this is all true, he is a sick, sick bastard. So, and you have to wonder how many other people were involved, how many other men took part in this and the abuse of these women, how many other men and women just stood by and either watched it happen or participated in it and know about this. How many other celebrities might be indicted in the future or at least implicated in these crimes? So I'll keep an eye on it, but yeah, 2024 seems to be the year of, find out. It seems to be the year of consequences. So I'll keep you posted. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.